Good evening and welcome to all the participants joined in the daily virtual program on work-life balance conducted by Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of Institute of Chartered Accountant of India in association with Heartfulness. We have with us today's resource person Mr. Rupesh Sharma sir and our expert Mr. Deepak Khanduri sir and CA Pradeep Gupta sir from Heartfulness. We welcome you all in this platform. With this, for the introduction of Rupesh Sharma sir, I am requesting Deepak Khanduri sir and thereafter handing over the session to Rupesh sir for further proceeding. Over to Deepak Khanduri sir.
Thank you and very good evening to all. There is a slight shift from the poster that was printed earlier. Today it is Mr. Rupesh Sharma who will be presenting, and I assure you it is a very good deal. He's a very experienced presenter and he's been a heartfulness practitioner since 2014 and trainer since 2018. And he's also a coordinator for NCR of Heartfulness Education Trust and facilitator with Heartfulness Communication. Currently, he's president with United Biotech Group, Delhi for subsidiary Umano Healthcare Private Limited. He's been a business leader in pharmaceutical industry for past 25 years with top management roles in companies like USV Limited, Apple Therapeutics Limited, and Lark Laboratories India Limited. With this brief introduction, I hand over the session to Mr. Rupesh Sharma.
Yeah, thank you for a welcome and my heartfelt gratitude to ICI for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts on habits. I welcome to all the members of ICI and all the participants, those are attending this particular call. And let me share my presentation and straightway go to the session. So welcome again for the third session of habits and meditation. This daily virtual program, which is primarily targeted towards the work-life balance. I would like to start with just a brief on the challenges that we are facing in this work-life balance. And there is a requirement of lifestyle management, a change in the way we are looking ourselves. And I'm sure that we all of us are agree with this demanding working situations where there are uncertain environment. Usually we name it as the VUCA world, where V stands for volatility, U for uncertainty, C for complexity, and A for ambiguity. And anytime you can Google it and find it out. It's a very common word that we've been used nowadays, a VUCA, a very volatility, and which has been creating an ambiguity day by day. And it's creating an impact on an individual physical and mental health. These work demand to make ourselves to deliver at our best are somehow have been creating some unwanted habits, and those unwanted habits are further leading to further challenges in terms of physical, mental, and psychosomatic relationship, as well as creating certain level of stress, anxiety, and many other things which we don't want in our life. My third session is focused on how do we handle those unwanted habits? How do we remove those in our system so that we move forward in our life the way we are looking forward to, we bring that balance back. And during this approx 60 minutes time, there will be a recap first for the first and second session for a period of 5 minutes, followed upon a brief presentation for 25 to 30 minutes. We'll have a meditation for 20 minutes approx. And lastly, there will be a question and answer for 5 minutes. Before we start, I would ask that all of you please join me in a short centering exercise where we connect with our heart, center ourselves in our heart, and with this connection of divinity, we'll move forward towards in this session. So I would urge all of you to close your eyes for a few seconds, 2 or 3 minutes. and bring your attention towards the heart. Try to connect with the deeper core of your heart. And try to feel the source of divinity in the core of our being. Remain connected with this just 1 or 2 minutes more. Feel yourself to get drowned in this ocean of divine love and purity. So thank you for joining in this centering exercise. So we'll take this session forward. And let me remind you, all of our ideas are sharing are a combination of two background resources, where one is this international bestseller book, Atomic Habits. The technique that we've been sharing with you are primarily influenced through this particular book. We would urge that if you want to take up this topic of habits into depth, then you must buy this book and go through with this. And the other part of the program, which is the program is been named as Habits and Meditation, where the meditation part has been primarily driven through the heartfulness meditation practices, which are the ancient meditation practices being observed by the millions of practitioners for more than 100 years in more than 170 countries. And we have been practicing since, personally, have been practicing for more than 10 years, and it influenced my life up to a greater extent and give me a good push to become the best version of myself. And this is the objective of this particular program also. We want everything to be best in our life. We want to excel at any given opportunity in our life. And in order to do that, we need to pay certain efforts. But these efforts take up our energy. And if we keep on depleting our energy, there will be a challenge. In order to take this up, if we are able to set our system in a very disciplined way, where we have been able to inculcate those habits, those supports to our vision, where we are looking for ourselves to be excelling in every given opportunity, and we remove the unwanted things, those are being there in my day-to-day life, day-to-day routine, which we said unwanted habits, then we keep our energy levels up throughout. Because once our habits enter into a subconscious mind, it becomes automated. It will not take much efforts. But it has to be the productive habits. So that all we discussed in the day first. We talk about the importance of habits. In the day two, in the last session that we had, Deepak ji spoke on that the tiny habits always make it easier to start with. So 1 minute rule for each good habit, that is a very good, I must say, way to start any good habit. Make it easier. See, may add those habits which you can do in a very short time. So it doesn't take much of your efforts and energy. And if we are planning it in such a way that we are tagging it with time and location, like in a geotagging, for any good habit, it helps furthermore. And we plan it that, yeah, I am going to, whatever good habit I'm going to add, I will do it at this particular time, at 8 a.m. in the morning, starting from my bedroom or whatever place that we have been start with. It will create a greater impact and more surety to deliver that particular habit for a longer duration of time. Other technique we talk about sandwich. Once we identify our routine, then sandwich the good habit that we want to inculcate, add into a routine for these have identified other habits which have already been there. And the meditation is an excellent tool to bring that flexibility, to bring that awareness where I need to make a change. So habit formation it's a scientific process. We spoke in the last session how we form habits, what are the 4 steps, and today we'll take this forward further. The neuroscience and psychology of habit formation, as we said, it's mainly a science. Now, this process of habit formation, it starts from the early childhood of our life. Very early, as we come into this mortal world. And every habit is being supported by millions of subconscious thoughts and conditions. And those are driving it subconsciously into our system. And they become automated. Now, how it is this? My next slide explain more about it. It's giving just a division of how our conscious and subconscious mind works. Now, 95% of activities that we do in the entire day, those are habitual in nature. Those are driven through our habits. And the speed of this is almost 30 million times more than the speed of our conscious mind, which is taking care of the 5% of our activities. Though they are creative in nature, they take up more of our energy. The habits doesn't take much of our energy. The creativity takes much of the energy. Now, when we are able to change this 95% of conditioning as per our requirement, as per our vision, as per our goal, as per our productivity, and we are able to make a conscious change into a subconscious mind through adding good habits and to removing the unwanted one, we bring a very big change into day of life, and that is the habits workshop all about. So when we talk about this subconscious programming, it's been developed over a million of years into our system. And it's very much required for our survival. As I said, 95% of our activities are primarily driven through the subconscious mind, where we are not aware about. There are millions of biochemical reactions which is supported by the subconscious mind. We come across any difficult situation, supposedly you've been driving a car, and suddenly something come in front of the car. Your creative mind is not taking time. Immediately the subconscious mind will come and you start pushing up your brakes and you start working in a direction. You are doing multitasking while driving a car. So there are multiple things. You are brushing your teeth, every activities that you have done over a period of time, repeatedly, it has set into our system. It is not taking our effort. And it becomes part of our subconscious programming. Now, when we it was there in the process, they were helpful. Gradually, we have changed the life. Now, this digital era has bring us further opportunities and further challenges also. And in order to adjust ourselves, at that time when we've been living, that there was not that level of digital era. So we pick up some other habits which are not supporting our current structure, so those needs to be changed. So that's why we named as those habits. Those are not required. Those are taking our time, and those are useless in the current scenario. We say it's an unwanted habits, and those need to be removed. Now, in this subject, to understand the unwanted habits, we first need to understand the cause of these unwanted habits. What are these unwanted habits primarily? So we'll take a one-into-one into details, and there are two. Broadly, we have categorized into the two part of these unwanted habits. One is those are in the inner cause. Those are being there in my inside, my inner environment. Fear, stress, likes, dislikes, boredom, ego, desires. Those have been there within me, and those demands change inside. And there are certain things, those are we need to change outside, those support to our vision, our goal, people, what location, there are which events, the type of food, and there are multiple many other things. Broadly, in the subsequent slides, I'll speak more on this, that how are these things, what are these unwanted habits that we take to take care of it. Now, these feelings of fear, now we are looking forward. It's always good when we are in control, that we can definitely bring out the desired result. But in that objective, once we are trying to control everything which is happening into my life, and we do not want to lose control, it tends to that we take up the unwanted habit to remain in a state of fear most of the time. Overreaction. Our expectation from any given situation, from a given direction, is always on the higher side, and what is not happening, we overreact. Negative thinking. Things are not happening as per our expectation. There become a tendency of the mind, it start working in that direction. And even then, in the positive way, situation, it start first negative thing come in front of our mind. And if we've been losing certain things, we are unable to produce desired results. And we have somehow having a bad event, bad experience with someone, then we start avoiding those persons, situations, place, and events. These are the various reasons for this fear. And all these habits of losing control, these tendencies of negative thinking, this subconscious arrangement of the past experience that we have, where we start avoiding persons, they'll end up to the fear, which is creating a negative environment inside. There are multiple habits that we have which create stress to our system. And when there is a stress in the system, it requires more energy. Sleeping, unhealthy sleeping habits, unable to, circadian rhythm, unable to follow the circadian rhythm, skipping meals, smoking, alcohol, too much of tea and coffee, spending too much of time on social media, which is the main cause most of the time. We have not been able to have an effective time management, because at the time we tend to know that we started and open a Facebook for 3-5 minutes, and then we don't know that it's end up ending the 30 minutes, another 45 minutes. And then we are in a challenge and stressed for 2 minutes time. And the idea of to always keep our attention on the self, keeping ourselves as a first priority most of the time. And in order to achieve the objectives, remain in a hurry, not listening the others. And try to do everything by our own. We say it's more related to the I-ness of the ego. Our brain is always been an active stage most of the time, even from the waking state to the dream state. And it always look forward to get engaged with certain activity. And when there is no active activity that we are looking for, then it becomes a boredom. In order to fulfill that, we attend our mind with some activity. We start watching TV, internet surfing, sleeping, eating. All these, those have not been even required at that time. Create more feelings, more emotions inside, and non-productive time create further challenges. So I'm sharing various ways, various unwanted habits which are creating challenge into day-to-day of our life. Time, repeating daily tasks done at the same time unconsciously. How many times we have seen that we have been picking our phone without any cause, looking at the time and the banner that we have on our phone, the screen saver itself. It's a habit, unwanted habit, which is not helping us at any cause. The type of food, most of the food, those have been preserved and been cooked more than 6 hours. Those create a certain level of laziness and lethargic into a system. Create an anger. We say it's a tamasic food. And the major factor is the environment, the people around us. We have seen that all the bad habits that we picked up at our teenage, at a young age, smoking, drinking, it was started with the fun and then gradually we've been taking it and it become a habit and then become a challenge. And the locations of various placing various things to due to the paucity of the time, I will not take much of it. As I said, environment, creating a right environment outside to remove an unwanted habit is one of the biggest tool in this entire arrangement. The bedroom is being set for sleeping, sofa is for relaxation, desk is for working. But imagine that if we are keeping all things into our bedroom itself, in the bedroom itself we are watching TV, we are having food, and we are doing office work. Now, whatever that we do at one particular area, it creates an environment. And when we go into that environment, we have a similar tendency, that type of thoughts coming into our mind, and we behave in that particular fashion. So all these need to be correct, which we say as an unwanted habits. How we can correct it? In the last session, we spoke about the science of making habits. Every habit has mainly been divided into 4 steps. Every habit is first start with a trigger. The trigger give us an opportunity to move in the direction and we start doing it. And then the craving to do that certain thing. And then we move into the direction and make an action and it's satisfied to us. That's for a good habit. Now, in order to remove the bad habits, the unwanted habits, we need to do the opposite of it. All those things, those are triggering. There are unwanted habits already been set into my system. Those are moving again and again. Whenever I come into that particular environment, that environment becomes a trigger and I start doing this. Supposedly, I plan that I will not take much biscuits. And if it has been there close to me most of the time, and I have a temptation for this, even then I have planned it, I tends to take it. And if I remove it, now let me share my own example. I have been very keen to watch news. No, news, they are not serving me. Okay, certain level of information is required, what is happening in the world. Maybe half an hour, 45 minutes in the day is sufficient enough. But many times, whenever I watch my phone, there is an NDTV app, I push it, there is other news, I spend my time. It's not serving. Gradually, I remove that particular app so that trigger is not there. And once there is no trigger, it becomes easier that I can remove that one unwanted habits. There are certain things like YouTube also. Those are taking a lot of our time. I've kept it into the apps box. It's not there in my front screen of my phone. So this is one way to remove that trigger, make the temptation unappealing. Though there is a certain craving, so that is the most difficult part of removing an unwanted habits. Any unwanted habits are serving us some or other way. They are satisfying us. They are giving some pleasure. That's why we are doing it. There is certain level of craving inside. Now, in order to remove that craving, you need to do an opposite of it. Verbalize your action that it's not working for you. Facebook is not working for me. More reels on YouTube, whatever, is not working for me. And if I verbalize, speak to myself openly, loudly, it starts setting into my system, and then gradually my other minds start working on it, and we can remove that unwanted habit. All the actions make it inconvenient. If you are removing it, keeping it in some other side, if you are opening your TV again and again, and if you keep the remote in the other room where there is not a TV, where you have to take some effort to find the remote and then open the TV, then there is an opportunity that you will not watch TV again and again, and make it dissatisfactory. So all these four actions, primarily the first three, if we are able to bring the first three fine, the four will come automatically. Remove the trigger, make the temptation unappealing, and make the action inconvenient, as difficult as possible, in order to make the unwanted habit not useful for us. If you are able to do it, then we will be able to do it. Another thing is to change environment. Now, we talked about in the first part of my presentation, when said that there is a certain environment is already been there inside. Fear, anger, jealousy, likes, dislike, I-ness, ego. Now, these are very difficult. These are very subtle, and those has been set inside. Even when we don't want it, it's become very difficult to handle them. To take care of all these, there are heartfulness practices. Now, which are those practices? The heartfulness relaxation. The relaxation gives us an opportunity to come to the pause on a physical level. Starting from mentally, we bring our awareness to various parts of our body. With the help of our mind and intention, we settle them up to a certain extent through relaxation. With meditation, we connect ourselves to the deeper core of our heart, which is the seat of divinity, with the source of all the energies inside, and we rejuvenate ourselves. So, rejuvenation is technique which has been shared yesterday, which is need to be taken care of every evening, where we are able to remove all the impressions and heaviness that we have brought in during the daily activities unknowingly through that practice, which we said the cleaning also. So these three heartfulness practices, relaxation, meditation, and rejuvenation, helps us to change this inner environment, elevates us rapidly from inside, and melting the obstacles to the progress, changing the subconscious mind, as I said in my beginning. We are looking for primarily to change those patterns. Those are working in an automatic fashion and creating challenges into my productivity and the goal that I'm looking forward to, and creating a lot of emotional entanglement into our life. I'll not repeat rejuvenation. We have already covered it yesterday. It will be good. This is the main important technique to change the system inside. It's even more than a meditation. And if you want to take it further, please refer to the Heartfulness YouTube channel and refer to the rejuvenation technique again. There are videos and every information. And once we are using it, we are able to clear the depression. We are able to clear the anger, hyperactivity, stress, feeling of feeling lost, which moves to the stability, composure, balance, objectivity, steadiness, pause into our system. The heartfulness practices is an opportunity for inner transformation and works as a catalyst for our outer change. When we change this inner environment, it becomes easier to take care of our outer behavior. And the meditation, the cleaning part, will ensure to bring that inner environment. The meditation part will bring that particular focus, that what I need to do further, what changes I need to bring outside into my day-to-day activity, and give us a willpower that we are able to bring that particular change. And if supposedly all these techniques are not working, then this anger and stress detox works when we are into hyper state of our anger or stress, when rest of the things are not working. So with this short technique of breathing 9 to 10 times, where you relax your body and mind, close the right nostril with the right thumb, And with a very joyful mood, with a smiling face, slowly inhale through the left nostril, breathing deep into your abdomen, and exhale through the same left nostril. And by doing it 9 to 10 times, you will find there is a sudden change into the mind and to the system. So it's again a very useful technique when the other things are not working. Journal writing, awareness, any journal writing, we are keeping diary and writing notes, particularly at the night time before going to the bed when we are relaxed. It brings awareness of what we have done during the day. The awareness where we need to bring a change. What are the things which I want to remove? What are the things which I want to add? And further, once I have identified those, then there is a tracker. I see that whether I am able to do it. Nowadays, there are many applications those help us to track and release. And further, this general writing even helps us to release the emotional burden. So, as I said, the this process of removing the unwanted habits first start by changing the inner environment. And for the change of inner environment, it first starts with the cleaning, rejuvenation technique. And once we are able to do it in the evening, and in the morning we start with meditation, and we take a loading dose where we connect the source of divinity into it, then it helps us to see that entire day we move into the direction that we are looking forward to. So the heartfulness meditation, we take a thought that the source of divine light is already present in my heart and it is going inwards. We'll experience this meditation now, immediately after this slide. So now I'm going to start with the relaxation session first. So I would urge all of you to please join me. So we can sit in a comfortable position where there is no stress to our body. Any pose that we are comfortable with. Gently close your eyes and bring the attention towards the feet. Feel that the healing energy from the Mother Earth is entering into our feet, relaxing our feet, ankles, knees, and the entire portion of our lower legs. Feel this healing energy is moving further upwards, okay, towards the upper part of our legs, our thighs, and our waist area is now getting relaxed. Gently bring your attention towards the back, from the tailbone to the head. The entire back is now getting relaxed. Now bring your attention towards the stomach area. Feel the expansion of the healing energy in that area. The entire area is now getting relaxed. Moving upwards toward the chest and to the shoulders. Feel that all the stiffness in both the shoulders is melting away. Now feel this healing energy is now traveling towards the arms, both the arms, hands, upper arm, lower arm, hands, and fingertips. And gently bring your attention towards the neck muscles and relax them. Now bring the attention towards the facial muscles, mouth, nose, eyes, ear, forehead, and top of head. Now scan the entire system and see that the entire system is totally relaxed. Now gently move the attention towards the heart and stay there. Now try to connect with the deeper core of our heart. So we'll start with the meditation now. Take a gentle thought that the source of divine light is already there in my heart and it is attracting me towards inside. I repeat, while keeping our attention towards the heart, take a gentle thought that the source of divine light is already there in my heart and it is pulling me inside. And we will remain connected with this thought for another few minutes. During this time, if we observe some other thoughts and will not pay attention towards them, gently ignore them. And if you get connected to some other thoughts, then gently remind yourself to be meditating on the source of divine light. So keep your attention towards the heart with this gentle suggestion that the source of divine light is already there in my heart and it is pulling me inside. And remain connected with this idea for another few minutes while keeping your eyes closed. Please start meditation. That's all. Keep your eyes closed for another few seconds. And try to observe that how are we feeling inside. Take a mental note of our inner condition. And open your eyes with this idea that you will carry this inner condition during rest of the day. I'm hopeful that all of you would have enjoyed this heartfulness meditation session. If you want to explore it more and take it forward, there are many resources available. This heartfulness meditation was in a guided meditation, an inner guided meditation to transmission, where the trainer sit along with you and transmit certain divine energies to the seeker's heart, and you are able to go deeply to the meditation. To learn to further explore this, you can find a trainer near you. You can download an application of heartfulness. There are various YouTube channels of heartfulness meditation where you can explore more about our practices. There is a Facebook page, there is a magazine, and the website www.heartfulness.org. So I'm summarizing my session of these unwanted habits with this takeaway that keep these four paths of unwanted habits, this trigger part, removing the trigger, the second part of taking care of the inner craving, the temptation, reduce it as much as possible. Make the action more and more difficult. And if you are able to make it, whatever action, unwanted habit, if you want to remove it, those are not serving your action dissatisfied, you will not take it forward. And in order to do that, the first step is to change the inner environment. And for that, these meditation practices, particularly the rejuvenation technique, is very much useful. So take care of the inner environment, then the awareness will take care of the outer environment. Where I need to bring a change. So that's a brief about the unwanted habits. Let me see, is there any questions we have?
Yeah, it is in chat box, bhaiya.
Yeah. Mostly in my free time, I do bad habits. How can I remove and manage this free time? Okay, very good question. once we take care of the time, the entire, if we really find that we have a free habit, those can be, there can be, you can add another good habits into that free time. It could be reading those things which will take us the goal that we are looking forward to. So reading those books, you can add it for adding certain games or other well-being habits, those support to the health, like walking, yoga, or even then the household chores, supporting the family time, having a leisure time with the family without a phone. There are various multiple things which overall help to our health and overall wellness. Those can be inculcated in that free time rather than watching TV, watching Facebook, or other digital things. What are some lifestyle habits that can manage stress? What are some lifestyle habits that can manage stress? An excellent question, I must say. If you are able to inculcate this habit of cleaning every evening, once going back to the home before taking the dinner, and in morning the meditation, any fixed time, at a fixed place, maybe for 20-25 minutes and half an hour. You can start with even 10 minutes, taking it forward. This will really help manage stress, because the entire source of everything is our mind, and when it is settled, it will give us the right direction. Our heart is once connected with the mind, it is works like in a navigation and always given a right direction to move with. And when we are moving in the right directions, we are able to cope up with the time easily, and there will be no distress. How can you stop yourself from stressing over small things? Yeah, so there is a default set into our mind. There is a one part of our brain which we called it posterior cingulate cortex. The non-meditators, they always remain active and start ruminating on the self-related referential thoughts. Oh, why I have not done this? Why he said so? How am I looking at this moment? Most of the time, these self-referential thoughts. For the meditators, it become get deactivated or get activated at very less time. So again, the practice of meditation will get disconnected with this I-ness and will help us to remain in the present rather than ruminating in the past or future. And where then, when we can stop, then with the help of this, we can stop ourselves for stressing over small things. So these are few tips or thoughts coming into my mind at this moment. And once again, I would pay my gratitude to the organizers of this ICI daily virtual program for work-life balance, for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts and to get connected with all of you at this particular platform. Looking forward to all of you to see you again. Good night.
Thank you, sir, for delivering this wonderful session. And thanks to all the participants who have joined this session. And also thanks to our experts for being with us throughout the session. With this, we are concluding this session. Thank you all.